This is an improvisation with Atra. Atra Asdou is an actor, writer, and improviser from Chicago. She's fresh off the Second City's e.t.c's 43 third revenue, Grinning from Fear to Fear, has performed at Lookingglass Theatre, where she's also an artistic associate, as well as the Goodman, Steppenwolf, and Writers Theatre, among others. She improvises with the Whirled News Tonight and Harold team, Lil Tooties, and IO Chicago. Atra has appeared on Chicago P.D. and Chicago Med, as well as many other independent Chicago films, Uptown, Dead Men Walking, RENEE Night Lights, and more. Atra is way beyond honored to be included in ChiTeenLitFest this year.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Cielo. Hello, everyone. As folks are coming in, I'm just writing down some names so that I can get some names in the chat for some exercises in a moment. My list deleted as soon as I did that. So so when I do that and some folks are missing, or if more folks are joining us, please forgive me as I'll take some time. Thank you so much for that lovely intro, and hello and welcome to ChiTeenLitFest 2020. You are in the right place if you are here for an improvisation workshop. And I am so excited and thrilled to be here with you all. It's truly an honor. I've been checking out your website, checking out different people's writings, and they're just so gorgeous and so necessary. And I'm so beyond thrilled and honored to be a part of this in any little way. So thank you so much for having me. So what are we doing today? Let me quick copy this list real quick so I don't have to futz with it later. What we're going to be doing today is improvising in all the ways, right? So I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Real quick. So we already got my intro. You don't need to hear any more about how I played a comatose lady on Chicago Med, or a woman being interrogated, blah, blah, blah. That's so much fun. Great. So you know about me already. In a moment, we're going to get to meet everybody. So make sure that you are on grid views, because although we found a way to improvise virtually now, right, to conduct virtual improv workshops, it's still not the same as being in person. So if you are all able to, please, please, please put your cameras on. Otherwise, you're just going to be seeing me and this face and just talking at you the whole time. But if you have the ability and the capability and are well within your, I know it's a little bit maybe out of our comfort zones, but if it's within the healthy realms of our comfort zones, because I don't want to take an unhealthy approach to this or violate anybody's boundaries, but if you are able to, we are going to get a bit physical today, so make sure you got some space around you safely and your camera's on, so that we can look into each other's eyes and play. That's all this hour is, right? We're going to do that and a Q&A later. So what are we exactly going to do in today's workshop? Well, today's workshop, we will be focusing on the very basics of improv concepts, and we'll be doing some physical movement online, I know, but we'll find a way to safely and within our own abilities and comfort levels, again, keep it safe, both emotionally and physically, to move around and play and discover character through movement. So I don't see anybody's cameras on yet, so maybe we can hit it up in the chat. In the chat, let me know, just type yes if you have some any improv experience. Go ahead, I'll wait while some results come up in the chat. Let me know if you have any improv experience. Yes, all right, Anna, I'm not sure yet. Joe, a little. Cielo, a little bit. Kendraya, a little bit. Eleanor, kinda? That's wonderful. All of us do have some experience with improv. I know people get intimidated. They go oh my God, I gotta be funny, or, oh no, I don't know all the rules. Well, they're really the rules are there so that later on you can break them, right? You can introduce the concept and the skill of improv so that we can name the things that we do every single day. I guarantee each and every one of you have improvised at some point in 2020, the year that is 2020, the eternity that is 2020. Whether it's having to figure out what your schoolwork is going to look like and pivoting, or making some kind of meal out of what you got left in the pantry because you don't want to go to the grocery store because that's become stressful. Like we improv every single day. You make choices and you stick to them and you commit to them, and you double down on them, and there's others who agree with you and build on it. That's all improv is. We're going to go over the concept of yes and in a moment. So yeah, a little bit, yes, kinda. For those of you who have no experience with formal improv, go ahead and type not yet in the chat. Let me see if we're starting from complete scratch with concepts so that I can really break it down for us throughout this. No shame in it. Everybody starts somewhere, but I'm letting you know, without even knowing it, you have some improv skills, I bet. So that's my chat floating in the shared screen. So yeah, here's little emojis yelling it out. You already have improvising abilities, so trust it. So this is all to say that you all are welcome in this space. This is your 60 minutes, and that's 60 minutes where we get to try new things, maybe like them, maybe not, and have fun failing. Like, that's what it's about. So don't be nervous. Don't be so nervous you keep yourself from participating today. I want you all to quickly remind yourselves that you already have the abilities to improvise, and we're just going to focus on naming and honing those specific skills improvisers use so that you can become more aware of them, to call on them and practice and apply those skills of deep listening and reacting. When you add character, it's reacting with an emotion, and to call on them whenever you want. So that being said, once again, I want to offer it out there for these amazing teens who have joined us. If you have the ability to turn your camera on and be on camera, I highly encourage you to turn your cameras on and be present. Improv does work best in person. Again, if you have underlying circumstances and you can't, all right, Anna or Anna, I'm not sure, we got Anna. Thank you for joining us on camera. Do we have any? All right, Eleanor, yay! Do we have anyone else? All right, Joe, way to go, Kendraya. All right, thank you all so much for yes-anding that. Look at that. Oh, it feels so good to be yes-anded. Thank you for being brave enough to go there with me. We're gonna have a good time, I can already tell. So we were like, I don't know, but hopefully we'll learn something at the end. So thank you so much for turning those cameras on and being present. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so what exactly are we doing today, Atra? Get to it. So we are going to explore the concept of yes and. We're going to practice mindful and active listening, and we're going to find some characters through physicality, honoring our abilities. And this is Kermit dancing. I don't make slideshows because I'm an actor, but since being at home and doing all my work digitally, I have learned how to make Google Slides. And I have so much fun just putting dumb clip art in there. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, so these are the things that we're going to be doing today. Some guidelines Cielo mentioned earlier, but I'd like to dig down deep into them and just hit on a few more. So when I ask for feedback or a suggestion in the group, raise your hand. Like we're a pretty tight-knit group. So if you just put your hand up, or if you don't have that ability, just like hit an emoji or do the chat, do the Zoom raise hand, and I'll keep an eye on the chat to make sure I'm getting to everybody who has a question. If I don't get to you, if by some chance I don't see it, please interrupt me wherever I'm at and be like, hey, I had my hand up and you didn't call on me. I'm more than happy to give you the floor and give you space. So have your cameras on, but mute when you're not speaking. Take quick bio breaks whenever you want. Just, some good spots to do it is during feedback or after exercises so that you're here for the exercises. Please be respectful with your initiations and your punchlines. What I mean by initiation is the first offering in a scene, which is often the first line or gesture that is agreed to and then built upon by the scene partner. And by punchline, I mean the joke that lands and that pays off the setup. Remember, improv does not equal funny, right? Just be real. I don't know what funny Rhea is. Maybe that's so funny it like comes out your butt. Like, why did I misspell this? But just be real and just be yourself. You are enough. Be supportive of your fellow participants and yourself. And please speak respectfully of others and yourself. We're going to be going into some weird territory, maybe, or some new things, hopefully weird in a good way, but like we're going to be learning and developing some new skills. So it's vulnerable. We're all going to be vulnerable. So just be kind and patient with yourself and each other. Okay. So be supportive of each other. And key element of improv is yes and, which is steeped in the thought that any initiation or offer is at least deserving to be agreed to and built upon. In the improv sketch world, right? I come from a Second City background. We use improv to test ideas out or scenes out that we haven't written down yet, that we just have like a concept of, and we want to test it out in front of an audience. Whatever the audience reacts to, we keep. What doesn't hit or land with the audience, we go back and rework or get rid of altogether. So we start editing. Editing happens later in the process. Eventually it will turn into a sketch, which is written and we do 180 times in a show, like in a show's duration. Like 8 times a week. So we're not there yet. We're not going to be editing ourselves. We're just going to be focusing on the very, very beginnings. So yeah, let's do our warm-up. What I like to do, and to explore the concept of yes and in this warm-up, is if we are all able to, like, go ahead and stand up. And you don't need too much space. Like, don't like flick, hit a lamp or anything like that. But if you are able to stand up, if you want to chill in your chair, that's totally cool. And what we're going to do is we are going to say our names and do a physical initiation. So a physical movement that ties with our name, maybe how we're feeling today, maybe our essence, whatever you want to tie physically to it. And we are going to send it. So we're going to establish it. So for example, if I went, Atra, all of you would yes and me by repeating the name and the gesture the way I did it. And then I would send it over to say, Cielo. And Cielo would do her. Cielo, do you go by she, her?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So Cielo, you would go, Cielo would say her name, do her physical gesture, and send it off to someone else. So we would repeat it all, and then Cielo would send it to someone else. Is that clear? Everybody? Yeah? All right, cool. We're getting into it. Don't worry, we're only 45 minutes away from the end of it. If you're nervous about it already, it'll be over soon, I promise. Okay, so let's get warmed up. All right, so I'll start. Atra. So unmute yourselves and let me hear it back and see the gesture. Let me see that yes and come in. Come on, folks. Don't leave me hanging. We have to do it as a group. Thank you. Oh, I feel so unsupported right now. Come on. Thank you. Y'all can keep yourselves off of mute for this exercise. Let's do that. And are you all in grid view? All right, we're gonna kick it off one more time. Ready? Because babies, this is the warm up. It's only gonna get more intense. All right, I'm gonna do it one more time. I'll go hope you all yes and me. Atra.
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 Thank you. Okay, Cielo, it's you.
Okay, so do I repeat what you said and then do mine, or
you do yours? Yeah. Okay. And then we'll repeat yours. I love cats. That's great. All right, Cielo, you go for it.
Cielo.
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 I'll pass it to Anna.
Anna.
Anna. I love that karate chop. Yes. All right, Anna, now you pass it to someone.
Joe.
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 Oh, yeah. That's great. All right, Joe. Hit someone else up.
Eleanor.
Eleanor.
Eleanor. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, right? All right, Eleanor, choose someone. Ooh. I think you were on mute.
Kendria.
Kendria.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for going there. I know yes and is such a hard it's like an easy concept to think of, right? We're like, oh yeah, agreeing and building upon. That's so simple to do. I'm gonna move my camera up because otherwise I look like I'm bald. So it seems like an easy concept on paper, but really it does take a lot of vulnerability, right? It takes like, I don't know if I trust you on this. If I go out to where you're going, if I match you, you might leave me in the dirt. You might leave me, what if I yes and then you don't come back around? It's such a vulnerable place to be in. So really, really, really from the bottom of my feet, thank you. Cool. So, oh my gosh, what is that cat's name, Joe? They are an official participant to this workshop.
This is Nelson.
Nelson, all right. Okay, so thank you all for going for that physical warm-up. And again, gotta love me some clip art. Okay, so that was yes and. Yes is the agreement to what has been initiated. So yes was seen in you all agreeing to mimic back whoever had just gone, right? And is the additional substance you provide to what has just been given to you. You anded it by making your own offer to which the rest of us could bounce back to you. So you all just yes anded. Great work. All right, something I want to dive into. We are going to do some ensemble storytelling to further build on this yes and concept. So how does this go? You will all take yourselves off of mute. I'm going to put a list of people in the chat, and I'll move the chat up to my shared screen maybe. I think this gets everybody. I think we had Mezisol earlier, so let me redo that chat real quick. I'll take out some folks who aren't here. I think we don't have quite a few folks, so sorry, this will take just a second. That was the list I made earlier, so let me delete some folks so that we don't have an Emily, right? We do have an Eleanor. We don't have a Jaime anymore. We got Kendria and we got Anna, right? It's not Anna, it's Anna.
Anna,
Great.
yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, so this will be the new list. So that made it even sloppier. Let's start it with, sorry, we're gonna do a one-word story at a time. You didn't miss anything, Joe. Thank you so much for trying to catch up though. So we're gonna start this list. I'm gonna put it right underneath Joe's message so that we're starting it clean. So Kendria, Anna, Joe, Eleanor. Ignore the last two, Kendria and Anna. I think that just, we're having technical difficulties. So it'll go Kendria, Anna, Joe, Eleanor. Well, yeah, and then it'll go Kendria, Anna, Joe, Eleanor, Kendria, Anna, Joe, Eleanor, as we tell our story at a time. So we're going to tell a story one word at a time. Cielo, I'm going to throw you in there. We're going to do this. Take 3, y'all. Here we go. We're improvising in real time. Oh, Lord. I'm trying to hit the shift, and then we'll do Cielo. There we go. Okay, so underneath those 2 hyphens is what our official storytelling list is. Kendria, Anna, Joe, Eleanor, Cielo. Come back to Kendria, then Anna, Joe, Eleanor, Cielo. Remember that. If you forget it, it's in the chat. You can reference it. one story at a time, one word story at a time. How it's going to go is, I will ask for a suggestion for a story that's never been told before. Something like Bradley's Big Day or The Golden Shoe. And you are going to take whatever that title evokes for you and start a story using one word at a time. So each participant only gets one word at a time. Listen to the word that came before. Yes, it, by acknowledging the word that came before mentally, and then and it by building onto it verbally. So for example, if it was the golden shoe and Kendria said once, the next person might say upon, the next person might say a time, so on and so forth, until we get maybe a beginning, middle, end of, let's say, a few sentences. So with that in mind, I know sometimes it's going to feel like I only have a or I only have the. Every word is important in a story. Imagine reading a story without any of the indefinite or definite articles. You'd be like, what is this? So with that in mind, can I get a suggestion from anyone who's participating? You can type it in the chat or you can say it verbally, whatever I see or hear first, I'm going to go with, of a story that's never been told before. Are we all waiting on each other?
I'm trying to think of ideas.
Yeah, it could be
The
simple.
one time I try to think of ideas, I'm just like, my brain's empty.
How about I try to think of ideas? This is a story called I Try to Think of Ideas. We can use everything. I love that. All right, cool. So we now present to you a story called I Try to Think of Ideas, presented one word at a time. Keep yourselves off of mute so that you don't have to worry about clicking and thinking about what came before. So just real quick, go ahead and unmute yourself. And we'll start with Kendria. I try to think of an idea. Go. One.
Yeah.
One day.
Sorry, I
Went.
You.
The shopping.
Mall.
There.
There, Eleanor, what do you want to add to there?
Oh, sorry. Was.
Seven.
Kendra, I think that's you. So one day I went to the shopping mall. There was 7.
Huge.
Did we go out of order?
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy to. All right, Anna.
Wait, what was the last word?
Huge.
Stacks.
All right. Joe.
of
Eleanor. One day I went to the shopping mall and there were 7 huge stacks of Eleanor.
Children.
Children. Yay! The end. Those children are having a time in the shopping mall. Let's clap it up for everybody. Great work. Clap it up for yourselves. Tell me how that feels. Give me some feedback. What does that feel like? What are you going through in the moment? How's it feeling for you when you're doing a story one word at a time? Challenges, interesting things. Go ahead. Anybody go for it.
It's like usually when a setting is established, you start like cooking up all sorts of like ideas and concepts that come with the setting. So it's nice to establish like a setting first, so you can like know like what ideas to add to it and stuff.
I love that. I'm putting little nuggets from our feedback into the chat. So if you ever want to look at them again, they're there for reference. So establishing a setting to know what ideas to add to it. Yeah, when we improvise, usually we like to get out the who, what, when, where of a scene, and then the why these folks have come together is where we get to play. Once we've established each character, when you're improvising, it allows for freedom to play. So that's a very keen and astute observation, Anna. Really well done. Anybody else want to chime in with any challenges or anything that came up for you?
Well, when I was in drama club, like it's a little bit
Oh, hold up, Cielo. You cut out a little bit. I want to hear every single word you have to say. Let's see if we can. I heard when I was in drama club, it's a little bit easier. Try it again, Cielo.
Oh, sorry, my internet cut out. So
Perfect. I can hear you now.
okay, good. So I was just saying like it's a little bit easier to do it in person just because like there's like it's easier to keep track of the order.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's easier in person. So like in your drama club to keep track of who just went, right? You allow yourself to be more present too. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else feel that way or feel a different kind of way? All right. Okay. Well, there's more opportunities to share out in a moment. So what I would like to do next is an exercise called mirroring. So what we learned in the last exercise was yes and, right? We take one word at a time and then we build upon what was just said. Now we're going to yes and in a physical way, because when you want to develop a character, that's not just what they say or how they say it, but how they move while they say it, right? Imagine Jim Carrey never being physical, like ever. These characters would be totally different. They wouldn't be better, they wouldn't be worse, but it would be completely different. Or imagine if like someone like Timothy Chalamet was more kinetic in like his characters, right? Like it would be a different interpretation. So using the skill of physicality and how you can marry it to what a character is saying, how you're filtering the world through what you're saying, can inform the audience or can inform your work and how you want to interpret and send your message out. So for this one, we can put ourselves on mute. I'm going to pair us off. So the way I see my screen is different than the way everybody else is seeing their screen. Zoom makes it different for every grid. So great job, Zoom, for being a perfect system. So I'm going to pair it off this way. Make sure that you are in grid view. I see we have Ariba Ismail. Ariba, do you want to pop your camera on and participate? Welcome. We are in improv and we're just learning an exercise called mirroring. Can I get... Hi.
So my camera doesn't work.
Okay, no problem. No problem at all. Feel free to observe this then, and I want to hear from you if you want to share out. You are more than welcome to. I just want to make you feel welcome in the room if you like.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm going to pair us off in the way I see us on our grid. On my grid rather. So this might be different for you. Make sure you are in grid mode so you can see your partner, okay? So I'm going to say Anna and Kendraya, you are partners. Cielo and me, Joe and Eleanor. Y'all can see your partners? Perfect. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to mirror each other. All right, no problem. Cielo, you can be right back. Take your time. We are going to mirror each other. In person, this would be way different, right? Usually when you tell someone to mirror someone else, you get the giggles. That doesn't go away even online, but you get to look into someone's eyes in person. On this, we have to kind of watch our screen. So it's an adjustment, but the give and take is what I want to explore in this exercise. So when you're in a scene with someone, when you're improvising with someone, it's not all on you. The pressure is off of you to have to generate or come up with everything, right? Unless you're doing solo improv, which usually isn't seen. Improv is kind of a group sport. So relax into the knowledge that you have someone who has your back right now, and that we're all going to look a little bit strange, and we're in it together. So, for example, I want you to really look at your partner. Take in how they're sitting and start to match how they're sitting. If they're sitting up straight, maybe you sit up straight. Now this is weird, right? Because we both kind of start calibrating toward each other. So Cielo just did that. I can do that. So Cielo, we're going to start mirroring each other. So if they smile, maybe you smile too. Or if they're kind of neutral, we start neutral. They cover their mouth, they cover their mouth. So we want to mirror each other's movements. Anything natural that comes up. Be aware of being the leader, right? Or trying to trick your partner into some kind of a move. We don't want to do that. We want to be working together. If that happens, it happens. It's okay. But just take note of it. If you're realizing that you're maybe leading the movement a little, see what it's like to hold and suspend and wait for your partner to give something. So remember, this is about give and take. So we're going to do this for about a minute and a half. It's 4:33 right now. So in a minute and a half, we're going to come together and talk about how it felt. So go ahead and just lock eyes on the screen with who your partner is and begin.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. I can't really see you very well.
Oh no. Oh, the internet. Well, let's stop it there. We're at 4:35. That was perfect timing anyway. Cielo, I could see you, so I was just mirroring everything you were doing, everything with adjusting camera and going off. So know that I had your back. It's okay. All right, so let's debrief. Let's talk about how that went. I saw some big movements. It was really cool seeing it on a grid, because I kind of kept eyes on everyone, especially when Cielo got out for a second. I took a look around, and it was really cool taking a look at how intensely focused you all were on each other. So I applaud you for that. Give me some, talk to me about how that felt.
It was weird.
Yeah. What made it weird, Eleanor?
I don't know. I just felt really awkward and I kept laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like doing just like mirroring someone. It kind of makes you like start laughing for some reason. It's because it's awkward.
Yeah. And it almost feels like, oh, that's what I'm doing right now. I didn't realize that I was, especially if you both start getting into a giggle fit, like, oh no. Is there a presence that you feel in that moment though? Can I ask that? Like, does that make you feel very present and aware of like, oh, there's no escaping this. I'm in the moment right now.
Yeah.
Anybody feel that? Yeah. Did anybody feel like, oh, I hate this exercise? You can be real with me. I want to hear every experience with this. What did you, how do you feel like this could be used in a scene or used in even real life? Like, that in terms of like that presence, like how do you feel like the skills from this can be used in something that you create, even if you're a writer or if you're a visual artist?
Like maybe in like more of like a social setting, if like a very professional setting, you obviously want to look like the other people in the room, so you can look proper and stuff. It's like you copy people in order to like fit in and stuff like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, yeah. The idea of in social settings and like for example, like I don't know if y'all go on job interviews or anything like that, but usually they say like mirror what the person across from the desk is doing to show that like you're on the same level. So you can play with status in that, right? That idea of like what proper is, right? Or even just status where you're at with a person. We might act differently around our parents than we do around our best friends or around family members or than around our teachers or facilitators, So just clocking that. Also seeing, I think in the terms of like observation, right? We use our observation skills when we mirror people or are in an exercise where we're mirroring each other. You have to take it all in. So you can translate that to any of your art forms. Real quick in the chat, tell me what your favorite kind of art form is, or, verbally if you want. Either way, whatever medium you're most comfortable with, if you want to type it in the chat or if you want to say it out loud. What I know there's a lit fest, so if it's like I love reading and I love writing, or I like nonfiction or poetry, or I like visual art, filming, like anything like that. Visual art and drawing from Anna, ceramics from Cielo. So yeah, using those films from Kendraya, right? Writing, guitar, photography. I was gonna say photography from Eleanor. Drawing from Ariba. Musical theater from Joe. Yeah, so there's a lot, like Busby Berkeley, it was huge in like the 20s, and he did a lot of mirroring in productions with huge like choreography numbers. So anytime you see like those like Ziegfeld Follies, like is an old musical where like you have just trains of chorus dancers coming down and like splitting the stage and making it a mirror image of what's on the other side. That's how it's been used, and that's actually where a lot of the exercises in mirroring has been pulled from musical theater. So that's interesting that you say musical theater, Joe. In drawing, the concept of mirroring in images, right? Same thing. Writing, guitar, photography, mirroring in photography and how that works, how we see images, how we observe the world. Film, same thing, same kind of camera thing, seeing it upside down, flipping it, having a split screen, the way you can use it in film. Ceramics, the same, symmetry versus in asymmetry, same with visual art and drawing. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's move on to our next exercise. We are going to walk into two-person scenes. These only have to be 3 lines long. They'll go by so fast. There's no right or wrong, and we will celebrate each one. So I'm going to call out 2 people, and let's see, we've got 40 minutes left, or 20 minutes left. It's 4:40. Let's do some facial posturing. I was going to have us do physical, but since it's a virtual form, it's a little bit different. So let's just use our faces to create characters. I want to start dipping into the idea of using yes and now, using maybe mirroring if we want to, and developing them into characters. So what have we observed around the world around us? Maybe if someone walks with their head first, they're more of a thinker or they got something on their mind. That's what it tells us, right? When you see someone just walking head first, maybe worried. There's certain emotions that are evoked from, I don't know if evoked is a word, y'all, but that are interpreted from how you see someone physically carry themselves. That as visual artists, as ceramic makers, as filmmakers, writers and guitarists and photographers, and in musical theater, you can use all these skills to interpret into your own personal favorite art. So that person who walks with their forehead leading is maybe a little bit different than someone who has their nose up all the time. Maybe that's just a little bit of a different kind of person. And we all we know that old saying, like, they look down their nose at us. Like, there's a certain kind of air to someone who just walks this way or leads with their nose versus someone who kind of maybe talks with their mouth. I don't know, like leads with their mouth. This is different than someone who maybe leads with their chin. Is different, right? So even just on the face, you could use this for your whole body. Someone who hunches their shoulders forward, someone who walks with their chest from the hips, it's a little awkward, or like, you know, sensual is the stereotype of it. From the knees, maybe they're in a rush. From the feet, maybe they're light on their feet, so they paddle on their feet away. From the hands, someone who walks into a room like this is different, right? It's different status versus someone who's like maybe this kind of a hand talker. So just know that you can use just a singular body part to create and inform an entire character. So let's just use ourselves from the neck up on this virtual platform. Everybody, real quick, what would it look like if you were all top of the head talkers? Just give me that angle on this platform. If we were all and take a look around at your partners here. What does this tell us? What kind of Zoom room did we just enter? It's like a seance. All right, what is it like if we're all chin talkers? What do we look like? Be careful with your necks, yeah. Take a look at this room. Ooh, this is a bad Zoom room. We're all too cool for school here. What does it look like if we're cheek talkers and we only ever show our cheeks? Okay, we got some modeling going, we got some cheesing. That's great. It's a sweet room to be in. So I'm gonna call out two people and I want you to pick a part of your face to lead with. It could be anyone that we talked about. It could be your earlobes. You can constantly be showing your earlobes, right? Whatever you want. Pick a part from the neck up to lead with safely. And before you begin talking, I will say, okay, initiate. And one of you will begin an initiation in character. It can be as simple as like, the weather that we're having today is beautiful. Just any statement to start a scene. If you name your partner, double points because you've already gotten who out of the way, right? So yeah, let's start. And I'm gonna choose Eleanor and Kindraya. You can unmute yourselves and choose a part that you want to lead with. Really feel it out, and whenever you're ready, one of you initiate a line, and then the other will respond, and we'll get 3 lines in, and that's it. That's the scene. Yeah? And you don't have to tell us what part you're leading from. Just choose one, let it inform who you are. Yes, and each other. You can mirror each other if you want. All right, looks like Eleanor, looks like Kindraya's got.
So, Eleanor, how are we doing today?
Better than you.
That's probably true, yeah.
Scene! Everybody give it up for Eleanor and Kindraya. We'll go through some and then we'll come back and talk about how it felt. All right, Anna and Cielo, you're up next. Pick a part, and then whenever you feel so moved, go ahead and give us an initiating line, and we'll go 3 lines in.
Today has just been the worst.
Oh, it's been deliciously so.
Maybe for you.
Of course. Every bad day is wonderful for me.
Oh, I will put that on a bumper sticker. Every bad day is wonderful for me. Thank you all so much. Excellent work. Joe, I don't know if you're still around or if you had to step away. All right. So how did that feel for us? And Ariba, you can talk about how it looked too. How did it feel to have something to start and lead you in with? Did it feel empowering? Did it feel weird? Did it feel a mix of both? Give me some words.
It made me self-conscious of my forehead.
Anybody else feel self-conscious about the body part that they were leading with? Kendria? Eleanor, yeah. Well, as an observer, it looked very empowering. You all came out with such strong initiations and such strong responses and quick responses back. I was so impressed at how quick the responses were. Did it allow you to feel a little bit free in your response or in what you were going to say? Or did you find yourself worrying about, oh, shoot, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Did it help to lead with a cheek? Or was it like, I led with a cheek, now I don't know what? Or the forehead or the chin?
I was more worried about what body part I was gonna lead with.
Yeah. That's valid. That's very valid. All right. Well, you all did such wonderful work. Let's see. I want to start wrapping up this improv segment with, it's easy to destroy an idea through negation, right? But it's much more courageous to add to it, to allow it to flourish, to put your judgment aside and let creativity live. We can say, oh, I don't know about my forehead. I don't want to, show it off in this scene. Oh, comedy is the best way to showcase what all of our flaws are, or what our perceived flaws are. So that's where Mick Napier, who is the founder of Annoyance Theater in Chicago, is getting to here. We can easily say, no, that won't work, to any idea that comes up. But it takes vulnerability and it takes courage to say, yeah, let me try it. And if it fails, it fails, and I'll learn from that. So I just want to say thank you all so much for putting your judgment aside and letting creativity live today. Like, it was such a thrill to witness. So this is the workshop and feedback portion. I want to hear in this. I want to also hear any ideas that you had from today. Real quick before we get to this, actually, can I get like single words? You can put them in the chat, or you can say them, unmute yourself and say them. Just words that came up for you today, something that you learned or something that you felt. It could be like weird or interesting, or whatever you want. It could be a word or a phrase that you felt you learned or that you felt about today. Fun. Thank you, Cielo. Anna, fun in the chat. Nervous. Eleanor, look at you killing the game, still showing up even though nerves were there. That's all right. That's what makes us human. Thank you. Feature, Kendra, what do you mean about that? Feature.
Like how you were saying, like, focus on like one part of the face. That was like something that, like, you said you could like express a lot of emotion with that. I didn't know that.
All right, that's amazing. I love that it's encapsulated in the word feature. Oh, I love that. That's electric. Really well done. Fascinating. Thank you, Ariba. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. Okay, is there, thank you. Thank you all so much for being game for this. Truly, truly, truly. And this excites me that you pulled something from it. So now I want to open it up to you. Ask me anything that you want about theater, about writing, about, these are just places where I'm like an expert in theater, writing, film, comedy, improv, or anything that you want to ask me. This is a forum for you to ask me anything you want. These are, by the way, my newest headshots in 2020. I went out into a field and did some social distance photography because I got a few grays since we went into quarantine. So yeah, hit me up with any questions. You can ask me in the chat if you don't want to say them out loud, or you can ask them out loud if you would like. I'm not sure if you've gotten this question already today, but how do you not get anxious or nervous? Ariba, oh, that's such a juicy, juicy question. Thank you so much for that question. I get very anxious and I get very nervous. Even today, like even in the weeks leading up today, I was like, oh, I'm not practicing enough. Oh, I didn't do this enough. Oh, oh, what if it goes this way? Or, oh, what if at some point I have to trust that I've prepared enough and that I've done my work enough before the event that even if something went quote unquote wrong, that I am able to trust myself and trust other people to accept me. And if they don't, it's on them. I don't know if that translates or that answers your question, but that's how I found, like, especially with improv and doing shows like 8 times a week, there are like at SNL, I'm not trying to name drop or anything, but like huge stakes happen when like at SNL, at Second City. SNL comes once a year and watches the show. And us on the stages, we go, it's fine. No, we're not talking about it. We're not thinking about it all week, right? Yeah, no. We don't know when they're coming yet? No? No hours yet? No? Okay. No, yeah, we're cool. We're cool. And then the night of, you can either let your anxiety and let your nerves get the best of you. And there's only regret from there, right? They don't go away after. Because you start thinking, well, I did this wrong, or I did this wrong. Or you can just say, you know what, anxiety, you know what, nerves, I'm going to go out here for a second. You're going to hang out, but you're not going to come with me. I'll see you afterwards. And if you want to come out, if you do come out, you can hang, you can chill, but I'm not giving you any more attention than what I need to focus on in the present. So I try and visualize my anxiety and my nerves, and I talk to it and I say, yeah, you can hang out right here. I'll be back for you. You'll still be there. I trust you will still be there at the stage door when I come off. But for now, I want to do what I've worked really hard to do and perform. So yeah, do you know any improv groups around Chicago for teens? I want to join one someday, and my counselor suggested I join one. Absolutely. So right now it's all kind of weird because theaters are going to be like the last thing to come back from the pandemic. But check out, I'm going to write some in the chat. Lookingglass has some classes, performance classes, and sometimes they do improv. Oh, that says improv, but it should say improv. Writing and talking at the same time. Lookingglass, which is a theater in Chicago. The Second City, of course, they actually opened up their classes during the past few months when Illinois allowed it. They have classes specifically for youth. They have like camps in the summertime and like throughout the year. So check out the Second City. I think it should be thesecondcity.com, but you can Google the Second City camps and youth improv /improv for teens. They have like every program. I.O. Chicago has since shut down, so they are no longer available. Check out the Annoyance. Sometimes they have youth /teen improv, Annoyance Theater. Those are the big ones. And aside from that, follow these folks on Instagram. Let me find their real handles so I can give them to you. These are my friends who have like started their own workshops and stuff, and you can follow them and see if they ever. Maya Houghton at Houghton Funny Business. And Jules Morales, who has like started her own. Call me Jules Morales, who has started her own improv theater, who is starting her own improv theater. Both of those are BIPOC as well. So support. Cool. Any other questions? Oh, have you met the SNL cast? I really love the show. I have not. I know Chris Redd, and I almost got to meet Bowen Yang because he does a podcast called Las Culturistas, and it's very funny. And they came to Chicago and asked for performers, but I was performing at the Second City that night, so I don't know them. I have friends who went to work there though, and it's a wild ride. But yeah, it is a fun show, isn't it? It's so cool to watch it like week to week and see how it changes. I'm a fan of the show in that like, even when it's bad, I'm still like, oh, that's so cool. Like, that's me. I'm a comedy nerd. Any other questions? What was my first acting gig? My first acting gig, I was Dorothy in an outdoor play version of The Wizard of Oz. And it was the first time I ever got stung by a wasp. Or I guess bit by a wasp because they bite, because we played in the woods a lot. And it was so much fun. I was a junior in high school. I wasn't getting cast in anything in high school. And then I found something like that was, it was called Theater Hikes at the time. I found it online and I auditioned for it and I got it. And I had no idea what I was doing, but it was so much fun. Yeah, that was my very first acting gig that I got like paid for. Aside from like home videos, skits, I'll call them skits, not sketches. They don't deserve to be called sketches when I was younger. Any other questions? Can I ask you all something? How are you finding yourself creating in these like weird, I'm going to call them like crackling times, because it's kind of like everything has been there already, but it's just more to the surface now, and we have been stuck inside. So how are you finding ways to create? Have you, like for me, I felt like my creativity for the first 8 months of the pandemic, since we got locked down, was like nowhere to be found. And now slowly I'm finding it day to day. It changes. Do you all feel similarly? Do you feel different? Do you feel surges to be creative? Do you find fests like this help? I'm seeing some nods. Yeah. Cool. Well, I want to close by saying, like, thank you all for showing up. Like, this was so cool to hang out with you on Zoom. I hope, and I'm very happy for those words like feature, fun, and nervous. Like, those are all real human feelings and thoughts. And I want to encourage you all to always, when you feel lost, like, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. And when you feel like, you know what, I'm trying to create something and it's not happening, it's okay. Like, creativity comes in many different forms. And as long as you are forgiving for when it feels strenuous and it's easier said than done, and accepting for when it does arrive, like, just know that you have it in you no matter what, whether it feels like it's there or not, you have it in you. And so thank you so much for joining me with this improv workshop and for taking time and showing up in all the best ways. Thank you, Anna, Eleanor, Joe. Thank you, Cielo. And thank you, Ariba, for also joining us. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'll include my email here. If you all ever have any questions about improv or anything like that, hit me up. Let me know. Absolutely. Thank you. I hope you all take care.